Hey, chickadees, welcome into today's episode of Mojo Mysticism. So today we are once again pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Alberto Villoldo and my future member of my bestie posse, Colette Baron-Reid. So let's just see what our guides have for us today. So this has been I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it today, like feeling it. All day it has been like one friend of mine puts it as a magic carpet ride. It feels like it's been a magic carpet ride today for sure. And parts of it most of it super good actually, and some of it like this feels a little rough today. so been through it. So let me know if you've been through it too by putting in the comments that through it. So. All right, so let's just see what our guides have for us today. So I will tell you that the cards have been very active today and very accurate today. So there's also that. So this deck in particular right now is very, has a lot to say. I'll just say that. So, but yeah, so let's see. I've got 3 cards out. There's a 4th one in there. We may or may not turn it over. We'll see what happens. They're just saying, maybe just in case. So, all right. So 4 cards are out, 3 of which we will certainly cover. Maybe the 4th one will make an appearance. We'll see what they say. All right. So let's just turn these puppies over and see what we have today. Okay. So the first card is card 27. This is Heart Home, Compassion. Heart Home. And the second card we have is card number 14. This is Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. Drifter. And the third card is Compass. So this is card number 35, and this is getting back to integrity. Compass. Actually, not compass. Lost compass. Lost compass. Getting back to integrity. So very interesting cards. And a very, very interesting, oh God. Okay, I turned the 4th card over and I said, oh God. So the 4th card I've already seen today. This is the second time we're seeing it today. This is card number 12, Dragon's Horde, Protecting the Future. So this is the clarifying card. And apparently we needed clarification. So, which is interesting because it does kind of put this whole thing in perspective. So when we are looking at times in our lives when we are moving through it, right? I just mentioned I have been through it today, right? The magic carpet ride of life condensed into a single 8-hour day has been pretty much what's been going on today. So, and like I said, most of it good, some of it challenging. So, but yeah, so when we are going through it, they're telling us to remember that our heart center is our home. This is where our compassion resides. It takes up residence here. Sometimes it's also kind of in your solar plexus, but it primarily lives in your heart. This is your heart chakra center, your compassion center. It's also one of the 3 places that goes into coherence when we have huge spiritual awakenings, or when we've trained ourselves to be able to move into what we call whole body coherence. So the heart coherence is one of the first that gets developed. And that is what this is all about. It's just coming home to our own heart center, coming home to ourselves. So when we're going through it, coming home to ourselves and understanding that if we are railing against something or we're pushing against whatever it is that life's dealing out to us right now, it puts us in the place of being the kind of what is the word? It's almost like we're bullying life. That's what they're saying. And so what we want to be is the drifter, right? And the drifter, it's not drifter in the sense of, oh, I just laissez-faire kind of go, with whatever's coming. It's not that. There is intentionality and a deliberate nature behind this. But it is understanding the flow of life and not fighting against the flow of life, right? It doesn't mean that you're just like on a whim doing anything. You're always tuned in, As Abraham Hicks says, you're tapped in, tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, right? So you are always in flow. You are always connected to the divine, and that's where you're making decisions from. They can seem pretty like sporadic, and they can seem kind of out of left field from time to time. I know my guides have definitely guided me to make some really crazy decisions that on the outside look nuts, right? But I know I'm making them from a guided place, from the center of my intuition. So, heart home, coming home to our compassion, getting heart centered, lighting that heart center up, and being able to do a give and take with the world with love from our compassion, our heart center. Understanding that we don't fight against life, we go with the flow of life, but we do it in a very intentional and deliberate way where we are aligned with our spirit and our soul's calling. And that is how we get back to integrity. So that's how the lost compass gets reclaimed, found, like the lost and found of the compass, right? That's how that happens. So when we feel kind of the boat being rocked by the sea of life, right, and it throws you off for a little bit, this is the calling home. And it's almost like, okay, I hear them that are like, yep, continue, do the sea analogy, and yes, Molly, you're going to be terrible at it, but do it anyway. So when you are trying to navigate waters, all right, I am not a captain. I'm also not a sailor. I'm a girl whose dad had a boat when she grew up. That's literally kind of where it starts and stops for me. So have I captained that little boat? Yes, I have. Have I done it on the Great Lakes where you have to have a map and a chart? Yes, I have. Have I gotten lost at sea, lost at lake in my case? Obviously, no, I haven't. So, because here I am. And so the analogy that they're asking me to continue in a ridiculous way to use, they are having fun with me today. They're like, yep, we put you through it, and now we're going to have fun with you. So it's like, okay, well, at least I can laugh along with you. So yeah, welcome to this very, very weird episode of Mojo Mysticism. But what they're saying is, like, when you're trying to navigate tricky waters, so even if you're a white river rafter, you may obviously kind of, understand this. But when you're navigating tricky waters, and the waters have gotten rough, right? And they feel like you're on the edge of not knowing where you are. And I will tell you, I've been on the middle of Lake Erie. I grew up spending summers on Lake Erie. I have been in the middle of Lake Erie in a small 20-foot pleasure boat with 10-foot waves. You can't see any land, even if you're close to it, when the waves are cresting and the boat's going up, right? So you're just trusting that you're putting it in the right direction, and you're navigating based on where the sun is, and if it's at night, where the stars are. Thank God it wasn't at night for me, because I probably would have been lost at sea, to be perfectly honest. But you're navigating based on what you know, right? And you're relying on that because you can't see it, right? All you can do is have faith in what you know. And in this case, it's our intuition. Okay, so we're coming back home to compassion. We're igniting our heart center, right? We're understanding that we go with the flow of life, right? So there is a right way to ride a wave in a boat, and there is a catastrophic way to ride a wave in a boat, especially like a 9-foot wave. And so, you are going with the flow of the waves, right? With the flow of the ocean, with the flow of the river, whatever the case may be for you, with the flow of your life, okay? And life naturally ebbs and flows. That's the drifter. But we're doing it as we're cultivating, and in some cases reigniting compassion in our hearts. So that is how we really come to the place of reintegrating ourselves, right? Remembering who we really are, right? Coming back to a place where we have pulled ourselves back into integrity. Now, and that's the Lost Compass card. But here's the thing: when we're talking about integrity in this case, the guides want to make it very, very apparent to us. Mine, especially, are kind of like clamoring to get this out, but yours are as well. That we're not talking about integrity with like in the instance of like ethical behavior. It could be that. However, the important thing to understand here with this reading and what our guides are trying to tell us is we're talking about integrity in living authentically who you are and expressing that to the world, right? Words and everything, all of it. That's living in integrity. That is knowing, to use the compass term, like know, and the nautical term, like knowing where true north really is, knowing the direction that you're heading, right? Whatever that is, wherever your soul's calling is, and setting the course for that and maintaining course for that. That's the integrity piece here. So if you know what your soul's calling is, it's really talking about making sure that you're not veering off of that course. So there's like, I'm reminded of the, I don't know if it was a math problem or what it was. But you know, if you're in a ship, it all comes down to math at the end of the day. But if you're captaining a ship and you're off by 1 degree, that doesn't make a big difference for the first, few hours, right? Well, it depends on how fast you're going. It can make a big difference. It makes a huge difference the longer you're off just that little bit, right? So making sure we've got our compass in place, we know what our soul's purpose is, that we have aligned ourselves with that, and that is the direction we're heading in, and not even off a half a degree or a degree, but all in and committed is the secret. And that, frankly, is how we express the dragon's Horde card, which is the protecting the future card. Okay? This is how we protect our future. We don't protect our future by going off and doing whatever we necessarily feel like in the moment, although it can look that way. We protect our future by following our soul calling and being committed to our guidance, no matter how difficult it may be. It's that simple. So, and there's no better way to live. For me. You make your own decisions, of course, right? But there's no better way to live. That is, it's the sweetest, most delicious way to live in my experience. So, that's our message today. Heart home. Make sure you are centered in your own heart. You're going with the flow of life and not fighting it, because that can be catastrophic, and it can really cause a lot of additional unneeded pain for you, right? And then knowing that we're coming back to who we are, back to our own soul's integrity by aligning with our soul purpose over time. So this has been a huge, huge theme, not just for me today, but for some others as well. And it might be for you too. So if it is, just put me in the comments and I'll see it and know that that this is resonating with you. So, and all of this is how we protect our own future, right? So we hear a lot of stories about like, what's your deathbed regret gonna be? Well, I don't want any of us to have a deathbed regret. And this is how you do it, right? You find your purpose and you stay committed to your purpose. So it means a lot of things fall away in your life. A lot of things, and it's painful. That pain is real. The grief is real. And it's absolutely necessary. So, hang in there. All right, chickadees, thank you so much for being with us. I hope you have a fabulous night tonight, evening, day, whatever time it is that you're looking at this, and we will be back here tomorrow with more Mojo Mysticism. Mwah.